Have you ever wondered why some relationships shatter under the weight of betrayal while others rise from the ashes, stronger than ever? What is it about infidelity, a word so often whispered in shame, that holds the power to unravel even the most seemingly unshakable bonds? In today's video, we're delving deep into this timeless yet taboo subject. From the cracks that silently grow unnoticed to the painful revelations that break hearts wide open, infidelity is not just an act of betrayal. It's a mirror reflecting the complexities of human connection, desire, and vulnerability. But this isn't just about heartbreak. It's about uncovering the lessons hidden within the pain, truths that can transform not only our relationships but also ourselves. Whether you're seeking to rebuild trust, wondering how to recognize the signs before it's too late, or finding the courage to let go, this video will guide you through the raw realities and the unexpected paths to healing. Stay with me until the end as we unravel real stories, hard-earned wisdom, and insights that will forever change the way you view love, trust, and the resilience of the human spirit. By the end, you'll not only understand the intricacies of betrayal but also the incredible strength it takes to rebuild, or release, a broken bond. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I encourage you to click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest content. I'm eager to hear your thoughts on today's topic. If you enjoy the content, please comment 1 below. If it doesn't resonate with you, leave a 0. Your feedback is crucial as it helps me create better videos that align with your interests. Now, let's get started. I was born in a world that feels like a distant echo today, a time where the air carried stories untold, and every whispered secret shaped the course of lives. I've walked through decades where humanity has both soared to unimaginable heights, reaching for the stars with trembling hands of hope, and plunged into the deepest chasms of despair, dragging the weight of its frailties. I've stood amidst the chaos of wars and the fragile silence of peace, embracing love in its purest form and mourning its loss when it crumbled. These experiences have allowed me to witness human nature stripped bare, raw, vulnerable, yet breathtakingly beautiful in its imperfections. Infidelity, that timeless shadow cast upon the tapestry of human relationships, has woven itself into countless stories I've encountered. It is more than an act of betrayal. It is a piercing mirror, reflecting not only the cracks in our relationships but also the complexities of our hearts and the society that shapes us. I've seen how its destructive force can shatter the delicate threads of love, leaving behind wounds that never truly heal. Yet, I've also observed how it can serve as an unwelcome but profound catalyst for growth, a dark spark that forces individuals to confront truths they've long buried. In my youth, infidelity was a hushed taboo, a ghost that lived in shadows and whispered in the quiet corners of society. But within those shadows, I found stories pulsing with raw emotion, choices made in moments of weakness, desires unspoken, and lives caught in the collision of passion and regret. Each act of betrayal, I've learned, carries with it an intricate web of circumstances and decisions, revealing the humanity of those who falter. While I can never justify the pain it inflicts, I've come to see the complexities beneath the surface, the tangled roots that make us human. Over the years, I've become a keeper of stories, a collector of tears shed in anguish and of smiles born from redemption. I've borne witness to the agonizing aftermath of broken promises and the quiet resilience of those who chose to forgive. I've marveled at the strength of those who found clarity in their darkest hours, discovering truths about themselves and their relationships that transformed their pain into wisdom. Life, in its chaotic, unrelenting beauty, has taught me that every heartbreak is a lesson, every betrayal a teacher, and every mistake an opportunity to grow. Now, as I stand at the twilight of my journey, I feel an overwhelming desire to share these stories and the hard-earned wisdom they carry. These are not just tales of heartbreak and infidelity. They are stories of humanity in all its flawed magnificence, lessons drawn from the unyielding forge of life itself. Come with me on this deeply personal voyage, a journey into the depths of love, loss, and the resilience of the human spirit. Together, let us unravel the mysteries of infidelity and the intricate dance of relationships, guided by the light of ancestral wisdom and the lessons of a life well lived. May these stories serve not just as a reflection but as a beacon, illuminating your path, opening your heart, and enriching your soul. Let us gather, dear ones, in the quiet sanctity of shared wisdom, and speak of a subject as ancient and unyielding as humanity itself, infidelity. It is a shadow most would rather ignore, a thorn buried deep within the tender fabric of relationships. Yet, to truly understand love, trust, and the frailty of human connection, we must confront this uncomfortable truth. Infidelity does not arise in isolation. It is a mirror, reflecting our most profound desires, fears, and unmet needs. In my 90 years of life, I have seen how infidelity weaves its dark, unrelenting thread through the lives of others and, at times, through my own. Today, I wish to share not only my reflections but also the unflinching lessons life has taught me. Lessons earned through tears, shattered trust, and, yes, unexpected moments of clarity. Infidelity, you see, is not merely an act of betrayal. It is often the symptom of an ailment buried deep within the soul of a relationship, festering in the shadows long before any physical betrayal occurs. It begins subtly, perhaps in the quiet moments of dissatisfaction, the unspoken words of discontent, or the slow erosion of intimacy. Neglect can creep in unnoticed, like a thief in the night, stealing the tenderness that once bound two people together. Over time, this distance grows, creating a chasm that becomes fertile ground for temptation. I think often of a young couple who once lived next door to me. To the world, they appeared enviable in every way: youthful beauty, boundless wealth, and lives glittering with the promise of success. Yet behind the glossy facade lay a stark reality. The husband, though charming and adored by all, sought validation elsewhere, not purely for physical gratification, but for something deeper. He craved the feeling of being desired, admired, and significant in ways his marriage no longer provided. His wife, an intelligent and loving woman, sensed the growing distance but chose to ignore it, her heart gripped by fear. She clung to the illusion of their perfect union, terrified that uncovering the truth would bring her world crumbling down. When his infidelity finally came to light, it was not through an honest confession but through a cruel public revelation. She became the last to know, a humiliation far more cutting than the betrayal itself. The whispers of the community, the judgmental glances, and the crushing weight of pity were almost unbearable. Betrayal leaves wounds far deeper than the breaking of vows. It fractures the foundation of trust, the cornerstone upon which all love is built. And yet, my dear ones, here lies the first ruthless truth I must share. The signs of infidelity are almost always present. Emotional distance does not materialize overnight, nor do wandering eyes, evasive words, or unexplained absences. These signs, though often subtle, are there, speaking to those who dare to see them. Turning a blind eye to these signs is tempting. After all, confronting them demands courage, vulnerability, and a willingness to face truths that may shatter our hearts. But ignoring them only prolongs the inevitable and deepens the pain. My advice, then, is this: be vigilant, not paranoid. Trust your instincts, and when the cracks begin to show, address them openly and honestly. Facing the pain of potential betrayal early is far less agonizing than the devastation of uncovering it too late. Still, it is crucial to remember that infidelity is rarely a one-sided failing. It is a tragic dance, a breakdown of connection between two people who have drifted apart. One partner may stray, but often, both bear responsibility for the distance that allowed it to happen. This is not to excuse betrayal, but to recognize the complexity of human relationships. Behind every act of infidelity lies a story of unmet needs, unspoken fears, and the fragile vulnerability of being human. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. So, my dear ones, as we delve into these truths together, let us not only seek to understand infidelity but also to learn from it. May we find within its painful lessons the wisdom to nurture our relationships, the strength to confront difficult truths, and the grace to forgive, not just others but also ourselves. Life, in all its chaotic beauty, is both teacher and healer, offering us the chance to grow even from the darkest of experiences. Let us embrace its lessons with open hearts and the courage to see love in all its flawed magnificence. I've come to understand, through years of reflection and the stories shared with me, that honest and open communication is perhaps the most powerful shield against the devastation of betrayal. To speak openly of desires, to express fears without shame, and to share frustrations without blame. These are the lifelines that bind two souls together. Communication, when rooted in empathy and a willingness to listen, can illuminate the dark corners where disconnection and misunderstanding fester, preventing the fractures that infidelity so often exploits. But, dear ones, what happens when the unthinkable has already occurred? When the betrayal stands stark and undeniable, leaving two people sitting amidst the shattered remnants of their once intact love. Here is my second piece of advice. Infidelity, while deeply painful, does not always signal the end of a relationship. For some, it can serve as a painful yet profound awakening, a moment that forces a reckoning with what has been lost and what remains to be salvaged. I have witnessed relationships that, after weathering the storm of betrayal, found the strength to rebuild something entirely new, something more honest and resilient than before. But make no mistake, this path is not for the faint of heart. It demands a level of forgiveness that feels impossible in the throes of anguish, an understanding of human imperfection that transcends anger, and a commitment to growth that few are prepared to offer. It is not an easy road, and not every couple can or should take it. I think often of a couple I knew well in my youth. They were close friends, bound together by a love that seemed unshakable, until it wasn't. During a period of profound struggle in their marriage, the wife sought solace in another's arms. The revelation of her infidelity was devastating, a wound that cut both of them to the core. For weeks, they lived in separate worlds of pain, unsure whether their union could endure such a blow. But the betrayal also became a mirror, forcing them to confront the unspoken truths and neglected wounds that had festered in their marriage for years. Through months of heartache, therapy, and grueling conversations, they chose to walk a new path together. They did not try to rebuild their marriage as it had been, but instead worked to create something entirely different, something raw, real, and deeply honest. Their journey was not without setbacks, and the scars of that time never fully faded. Yet, they emerged stronger, not despite the betrayal, but because of the truths it forced them to face. This brings me to my third and perhaps most difficult piece of advice. You must also know when to let go. Not every relationship can, or should, be salvaged after infidelity. Sometimes, betrayal is the final blow to a love that has already withered, a clear signal that the time has come to release what no longer serves either person. Letting go is not an act of failure, but of profound courage and respect, for yourself and the other. It is a recognition that love, no matter how deeply felt, cannot thrive without trust. Sometimes, the bravest choice is to walk away, not out of hatred or resentment, but with a heart full of gratitude for the good that was shared and the wisdom gained from the experience. Dear ones, life is an intricate weave of heartbreak and healing, and no one path is the same. Whether you choose to rebuild or release, let your choice come from a place of self-awareness and love for yourself. Remember, forgiveness is not a gift you give to absolve another. It is the liberation of your own soul, whether you stay or move on. Trust that in the aftermath of betrayal, you will find clarity, strength, and most importantly, the capacity to love again. I remember my own dance with infidelity, a chapter of my life written long ago, yet its ink remains fresh, staining my memory as though it happened yesterday. My husband, the love of my youth, the man who had once held my hand as we dreamed of a shared future, sought comfort and solace in the arms of another during one of the darkest, most tumultuous periods of our lives. The betrayal hit like a thunderclap, splitting apart the world I had built with him. Trust, which had once been the foundation of our love, crumbled in an instant, leaving behind only questions and the deafening silence of heartache. In those early days, I was consumed by grief, anger, and disbelief. I replayed every moment of our marriage in my mind, searching for the point where it had all begun to fall apart. Was it something I had done? Something I had failed to see? Betrayal doesn't just make you question the person who hurt you, it makes you question yourself. And oh, how I questioned myself, doubting my worth, my judgment, and the love I thought we had shared. But as the initial storm of emotions began to subside, a quieter, deeper truth emerged. His infidelity was not the root cause of our unraveling, but a symptom of a much larger ailment that had been festering between us for years. The long silences we ignored, the unspoken resentments, the unmet needs, all of these had created a chasm so wide that neither of us had the courage or the tools to bridge it. His betrayal was not just a breaking of vows. It was the final manifestation of a relationship that had been failing long before. The decision to part ways was not an easy one. It felt like tearing apart the fabric of my identity, a fabric I had woven with threads of love, hope, and shared dreams. To leave was to admit that the life we had envisioned together was no longer possible. It was painful, heart-wrenching, and terrifying, but it was also necessary. In choosing to walk away, I reclaimed a part of myself I had long neglected, the part that knew I deserved more than a relationship sustained by empty promises and unfulfilled needs. Walking away was not just an act of self-preservation, but an act of profound self-love. It taught me that sometimes the greatest strength lies in letting go, not out of hatred or bitterness, but out of respect for what you once had and for the person you are becoming. I began to see that ending a marriage does not erase its value or the love that existed within it. Instead, it allows you to honor what was while making space for what could be. Through that experience, I learned some of the hardest but most valuable lessons of my life. I learned that no relationship is immune to cracks, and those cracks, if left unattended, will only grow wider with time. I learned that love alone is not enough. It must be nurtured with communication, understanding, and mutual effort. And perhaps most importantly, I learned that my worth is not defined by someone else's actions, but by my own choices, my own courage, and my own ability to heal. So, dear ones, let me share this wisdom with you. Learn from infidelity. Do not let the pain of betrayal be wasted. Whether you choose to rebuild what has been broken or to walk away and begin anew, let the experience teach you. Let it show you the importance of speaking your truth, of setting boundaries, and of never settling for less than the respect and love you deserve. Infidelity, painful as it may be, is one of life's most ruthless teachers. It forces us to confront our deepest fears, our unmet needs, and the vulnerabilities we try so hard to hide. It shows us the importance of trust, the fragility of connection, and the strength required to rebuild, whether with the person who betrayed us or on our own. I think often of the resilience of the human spirit, how it can endure even the deepest wounds and still find a way to heal. I have seen couples who chose to stay, rebuilding their relationships brick by brick, creating something stronger from the rubble of what was lost. I have also seen those who chose to walk away, using the pain of betrayal as a catalyst for growth and transformation. Both paths require courage, and neither is easy. But, dear ones, you must also know this. Not every relationship can or should survive infidelity. Sometimes, the betrayal is a breaking point, a sign that the foundation has crumbled beyond repair. In these moments, the bravest thing you can do is let go. Let go with love, with gratitude for the lessons learned, and with a heart open to the possibility of new beginnings. Life will test you in ways you cannot foresee, and betrayal may be one of the hardest trials you face. Yet within this trial lies an opportunity for profound growth. It is a chance to rediscover your strength, to reclaim your self-worth, and to learn the power of forgiveness, not just for the one who hurt you, but for yourself. Forgive yourself for the times you stayed silent, for the moments you doubted your instincts, and for the pain you endured. Forgiveness is not weakness, it is the key to your freedom. Take these words, my dear ones, and carry them with you. Let them be a source of comfort, a reminder that even in your darkest moments, you are not alone. You are stronger than you realize, and the light within you will always find a way to shine. Life is a journey of heartbreak and healing, of endings and beginnings. Trust in your resilience, and know that with time, you will find your way back to joy. With all my love and blessings, your wise elder. Now that we've explored the raw truths and transformative lessons of infidelity, I ask you this: what resonated with you the most? Which insight will you carry into your own life and relationships? Take a moment to reflect and share in the comments below one thing you've learned from this video and how you plan to put it into practice. Your story may inspire others who are navigating similar challenges. If this video touched your heart or opened your eyes to a new perspective, please show your support by liking, sharing, and subscribing to our channel. Together, let's continue these meaningful conversations and grow through the wisdom of shared experiences. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for opening your heart to these truths. Until next time, take care of yourselves and your relationships, and always remember, healing and growth are possible, even in the face of life's deepest wounds.